What's going on, Lakers Nation? Welcome back to the channel where we break down everything happening in the purple and gold universe. And today we've got a situation that's turning a lot of heads in Los Angeles. LeBron James, the king himself, might be out until mid-November, and that has the fan base buzzing for a lot of reasons. The report is that LeBron's taking a patient approach with this lingering sciatica issue. And honestly, that might be the smartest move he could make at this stage of his career. The man has been carrying teams for over 2 decades, logging insane minutes, and now he's entering year 23 at 41 years old. If there was ever a time to slow down a bit and focus on the big picture, it's right now. Let's be real, LeBron doesn't have anything left to prove individually. He's already a 4-time champion, an all-time scoring leader, a 4-time MVP, and an All-NBA selection more times than most players can even dream of. But this stage of his journey is no longer about individual stats or accolades. This is about winning another championship, adding another ring to that already legendary collection, and maybe filling up the whole hand before even thinking about retirement. That's why this patient recovery plan might be exactly what both he and the Lakers need. Now, reports came out that LeBron was going to miss all of the preseason, which isn't shocking given his age and the nature of his injury. Then came the follow-up that he'd also missed the start of the regular season. Some fans started panicking, but honestly, I think this is the right call. You don't rush a guy like LeBron back in October. What matters is April, May, and hopefully June. The Lakers have a roster built to stay competitive even without him for a few weeks, and this stretch could end up being a blessing in disguise. LeBron's mindset right now seems to be shifting more towards sustainability and trust. He doesn't need to carry the ball up the floor every possession. He doesn't need to dominate usage every night. He's got guys like Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves ready to take on bigger roles, the new engines of this team. If those two can become the workhorses, LeBron can step in when needed, conserve energy, and then go full superhero mode when the playoffs roll around. That's the kind of calculated approach we're talking about. Think about it. LeBron said he spent the entire offseason working on his catch-and-shoot game. That's not something the old LeBron focused on. That's a man preparing to evolve his play style, to adapt his game, to fit alongside younger, ball-dominant stars. He's preparing to play more off-ball, to become that dangerous secondary weapon who punishes defenses that collapse too much on Luka or Reeves. That's what great players do. They evolve. So yeah, maybe we'll see LeBron average around 22 or 23 points per game instead of the 28 he used to put up in his prime. But if he's doing that while staying efficient, healthy, and engaged defensively, that's a massive win for the Lakers. He can coast through the regular season, avoid unnecessary wear and tear, and still be the guy who takes over when the moment demands it. Because let's face it, when playoff time hits and the lights are bright, nobody wants to see a rested LeBron coming at them in a 7-game series. This approach also opens up a lot of strategic advantages for the Lakers. The more time LeBron takes to heal, the more the team can figure out what they really have. You get a 20-game sample to see how good Luka, Reeves, and DeAndre Ayton can be together. You see which rotations work, who steps up, and which areas still need improvement. Maybe the Lakers discover they desperately need a true 3-and-D wing, or maybe someone like Rui Hachimura or Jared Vanderbilt takes that leap and makes that role his own. You don't find those answers if LeBron is dominating minutes from day one. And look, there's also something to be said about confidence building for the younger guys. Without LeBron taking his usual 30-plus minutes, other players are going to get extended run. Guys like Dalton Connect, Gabe Vincent, and Jake LaRavia are going to have a chance to prove they belong in the regular rotation. Rui will probably play more at the 4. Vanderbilt will have more time to refine his defensive rhythm, and the coaching staff can get creative with lineups they wouldn't normally try. That kind of experimentation can pay off big later in the year. Now, obviously, nobody wants this situation to exist because of an injury. You'd rather it just be about rest or load management. But even then, you can tell the Lakers are being smart about it. There's no rush here. They know the marathon they're running. The goal isn't to be great in October or November. It's to be elite in April. And considering LeBron's body of work, he's earned the right to dictate his own pace. And let's not forget the schedule. The Lakers open their season on October 21st against the Warriors, then face teams like the Timberwolves, Kings, Blazers, Grizzlies, and a few tough road matchups. It's not an easy stretch, but it's manageable. If they can come out of that first month sitting above .500, that's a win. Then in November, they've got a slightly softer stretch with games against the Heat, Spurs, Hornets, and Thunder before facing tougher squads like the Bucks and Pelicans. So if LeBron returns around mid-November, say the 18th or 19th, he could jump back in just as the Lakers are starting to find their rhythm. That's ideal timing. By that point, he'll have missed somewhere around 14 or 15 games, enough for his body to fully reset and for the team to gather crucial data on what works and what doesn't. If the Lakers are rolling, say 12 wins and 3 losses, maybe LeBron even takes another week off. Why rush when the squad is clicking? But if the Lakers are struggling, his return instantly becomes the spark they need. Either way, the timing works out. The other upside here is that the Lakers front office will get a real sense of what holes need to be filled before the trade deadline. Do they need another defensive wing? A backup big? More shooting? Those questions will get answered through this early stretch. It's almost like a trial run for the supporting cast, and that's something every contending team needs. And honestly, there's a certain excitement about seeing how the rest of the roster performs without the King. It's like getting a preview of the team's future. Because eventually, whether it's next season or 2 years from now, LeBron won't be the full-time engine anymore. This period could give us a glimpse of what a post-LeBron Lakers team looks like, built around young talent, movement, and versatility. If they can hold their own now, imagine how dangerous they'll be once he's fully back in the mix. The chemistry between Luka and Reeves could become something special, and adding LeBron back into that equation only elevates the ceiling. But it all starts with patience, and that's what we're seeing from LeBron right now, a mature, calculated patience that comes from experience. This is a man who understands that being ready for Game 1 means nothing if you're limping by Game 70. He's in it for the long haul. So, for Lakers fans worried about not seeing LeBron in those first few weeks, take a breath. This might just be the calm before the storm. Because if all goes according to plan, by the time he's back on the court, rested and locked in, the Lakers could be in perfect position to make another deep run. And when that time comes, every bit of patience will have been worth it. All right, Lakers Nation, let's keep diving into this because there's a lot to unpack when it comes to how LeBron's absence early in the season might actually shape the team for the better. First, let's talk about the defensive side of the ball. LeBron has always been a Swiss Army knife defensively. He can guard multiple positions, switch seamlessly, and create havoc with his length and instincts. But the reality is, at 41, he's not going to be logging those 35-minute lockdown stints every night. That's why the Lakers have an opportunity to see who can step up in his absence. Can Vanderbilt anchor the defense at the 4? Can Ayton hold his own against bigger, more physical centers? Can the perimeter guys like Rui Hachimura, Gabe Vincent, and even Jake LaRavia take on bigger responsibilities? These are questions that can only be answered when LeBron isn't on the floor, and the answers could have massive implications later in the season. On the offensive end, the Lakers are also entering an interesting phase. Luka Doncic is clearly the alpha right now, and the plan seems to be letting him dictate the offense while Austin Reeves handles secondary creation duties. LeBron's plan, based on what we know, is to become a lethal third option who can exploit defenses that overcommit to Luka or Reeves. He spent the offseason refining his catch-and-shoot three-pointer, which is a skill set that perfectly complements this approach. By being ready to step in when defenses focus too heavily on the young stars, LeBron can maximize efficiency while minimizing wear and tear. It's a smart adaptation for a guy who's been playing at an elite level for 20-plus years. Another aspect to consider is the team chemistry. LeBron has always been the engine that drives the Lakers' offense, but this new approach allows the younger players to grow into their roles without leaning on him every possession. This is huge. When LeBron returns, he doesn't have to rebuild chemistry from scratch. Instead, he's walking into a lineup that has already had time to find its identity. That creates a dangerous combination, a team that knows its strengths and weaknesses now enhanced by the presence of one of the greatest players in basketball history. From a physical perspective, this patient approach also reduces the cumulative wear and tear that comes with an 82-game season. By missing the early games, LeBron avoids unnecessary stress on his body, which could prevent setbacks that would be far more damaging than a few missed regular season games. He's been through decades of high-level competition, and it's clear that he knows exactly what his body can handle and when he needs to rest. This approach could extend his career while giving the Lakers their best chance to compete at the highest level when it really matters. This period without LeBron also provides clarity for the coaching staff. They can experiment with lineups, rotations, and strategies to see what works best without their superstar in the mix. That kind of testing is invaluable, especially in a season where every decision could impact playoff seeding and matchups. Coaches can see which players thrive under pressure and which ones might need more development. By the time LeBron returns, they'll have a clear blueprint of what adjustments are necessary to maximize the team's potential. One of the subtler benefits of this approach is the chance for role players to gain confidence. When a star like LeBron is on the court for most possessions, other players often defer. But in his absence, they have to step up, take ownership, and make plays. That can accelerate development and create a stronger supporting cast. Players like Dalton Connect, who may not have been expected to log significant minutes, can now find their rhythm and establish themselves as reliable contributors. This kind of growth is crucial for a championship-contending team, where every player on the roster needs to be ready to impact games. Additionally, the Lakers can use this time to evaluate roster needs for the future. If certain gaps appear, whether it's perimeter shooting, defensive versatility, or a backup big, the front office can make informed decisions about trades or acquisitions. This is a rare opportunity to see the team in a more organic state, where strengths and weaknesses are exposed without LeBron's presence masking potential issues. And let's not overlook the psychological aspect. Knowing that LeBron will return fully healthy later in the season can give a younger player's motivation to step up, while also providing a safety net. They get the responsibility and experience of leading the team temporarily, but they also know that when crunch time comes, the king will be there to take control. That balance between autonomy and mentorship could pay huge dividends in the playoffs, as the team will have grown together and built confidence under pressure. Before we continue, we ask that you leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any exclusive Lakers updates. Moving on, in what could be one of the most intriguing coaching moves of the NBA offseason, whispers are circulating that Scott Brooks may be stepping into the spotlight as the next head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers. Sources close to the organization have hinted that preliminary discussions are underway, and while nothing has been confirmed, the mere possibility has already set the basketball world abuzz. Brooks, a seasoned NBA veteran both as a player and coach, has long been admired for his ability to connect with players and maximize their strengths. His tenure with the Washington Wizards and Oklahoma City Thunder brought mixed results, but those who know him insist that his leadership style, patient yet demanding, could be exactly what the Lakers need in this new chapter. The Lakers, coming off a turbulent season marked by inconsistent performances and locker room tensions, are reportedly seeking a coach who can balance star power with strategic discipline. Brooks' reputation as a coach who fosters player development, particularly with young talent, seems to fit the bill. Rumor has it that team executives are looking at Brooks not just as a tactical leader, but as someone who can instill a renewed sense of purpose and cohesion on a team that has struggled to find consistent rhythm despite its high-profile roster. Insiders suggest that talks have been discreet, likely due to the high stakes involved with a franchise of this magnitude. The Lakers fan base is notoriously passionate and demanding, and the idea of Brooks at the helm has already sparked endless debates on social media. Some analysts speculate that his experience with point guards and defensive schemes could bring the Lakers a much-needed edge, particularly in the Western Conference, where competition is fierce and margins are razor-thin. Of course, these are still rumors, and in the world of professional sports, anything can change in an instant. Yet, the very fact that Scott Brooks' name is being whispered in corridors of power in Los Angeles is enough to get fans imagining a new era. Could Brooks be the stabilizing force the Lakers have been searching for? Only time will tell, but for now, the rumor mill is running at full speed, and every casual mention of his name is being dissected, analyzed, and celebrated by those who dare to dream of the Lakers reclaiming their glory. Stay informed exclusively about Los Angeles Lakers news. Subscribe to our channel and hit the like button to keep receiving daily updates. Also, share your opinion on the news in the comments, as your contribution is crucial for the Lakers. Stay tuned for the next video.